Hello everyone, welcome back to my immigration journey. Today we're going to talk about how to fill out the form I-765, the application for employment authorization. I submit this form together with my adjustment of status packet. So, if you married with K1 visa and you want to fill out this form by your own, here in this video I would like to share my experience with you. So, let's get started. There are two forms that I've just downloaded here. The first one is form I-765. This is a recent update form, and I want you to always make sure the new version of this form before you submit it to the USCIS. And the other form is the instruction of form I-765. I want you to always read this whole instruction as I did before. I read all this instruction while filing this form to avoid the mistake. The first thing that you need to know, based on what are you applying for the employment authorization document. Let's take a look at the instruction of this form. You will find your answer right here about who may file this form. Different categories as you can see right here. One of them is family-based non-immigrant categories. So this will be my eligible category as I came to the USA with K1 visa. Okay, next let's move on to the form and how we fill out this form. Okay, we're gonna leave this box as this is for USCIS only. And this box will be completed by an attorney if you use them. But in my case, I don't use attorney, so I'm gonna leave it blank. Let's start here. Type or print in black ink. If there is any question that does not apply to you, you should type or print an A. It means not applicable, and type 0 or none if the question requires a numeric response. Now let's begin with part 1. The reason for applying. Right here, we're gonna select only one box. There are a few options. 1A, initial permission to accept employment. 1B, stolen or damaged employment document. And 1C, renewal of my permission to accept employment. In my case, this is my first time to apply this form, so it's going to be 1A. Initial permission to accept employment. If you are replacing because it was lost, stolen, or damaged, click 1B. To renew your employment document, so you click 1C. Moving further information about you. Right here, you will provide your full legal name. And in this case, I will have my husband's family name added to my last name. For instance, let's say, my name is Linda Miller. My husband's name is John Smith. So I will have my name here as Linda Miller Smith. Alright, moving on, other names used. Provide all other names you have ever used, including aliases, maiden name, and nicknames. Of course, in this case, I have other names that I've ever used before I changed my full legal name. And right here, I will type NA, that means not applicable as I don't have any other names. If you need extra space to complete this section, use the space provided in part 6. Moving on the next page. Still in part 2, information about you right here. You are going to provide your US mailing address, and it's gonna be your US mailing address where you want to get the mail from USCIS. Number 6, is your current mailing address the same as your physical address? In my case, my answer is yes, as I use my physical address as my US mailing address. If your answer is no for this question, you need to provide your physical address right here. Alright, move on. Other information about you. Alien registration number. You will find your alien number on your form I-797. notice of action of your I-129F petition. This is the form you get when you applied for your K-1 visa, and the number is located right here. Okay, let's read this. If you have more than one alien number, use the space provided in Part 6, additional information to provide the information. And if you do not have an alien number, or if you cannot remember your alien number, leave this space blank. Okay, now let's take a look. Number 9. Provide USCIS online account number if you have. If you don't have, it's totally fine. And you should type none in this box. If you have ever filed the form online or get email from USCIS contains an online account number, you will type that number right here. In my case, I type none. Alright, then select the box that indicates whether you are male or female and describe your marital status. Next, number 12. If you have applied for employment authorization in the past, select yes. Then when you submit this form to USCIS, you should provide the copies of your previous EADs if available. Next, if you ever applied for Social Security number, your answer will be yes and provide your number right here. If you don't have one, it's totally fine. You will type none right here. Next, number 14. Do you want the SSA, it means Social Security Administration, to issue a Social Security card for you? Of course you want that. So you will get your SSN mailed to you. In my case, I already have one, so my answer is no. Alright, number 15. Consent for disclosure. In your case, if you don't have Social Security number, you will answer yes. Then you will provide the information about your parents below, right here. About your father, about your mother. In my case, I already have one, so my answer is no. And I type an A right here. Now, moving on right here about your country of citizenship or your nationality. List all countries where you are currently a citizen. In my case, I only have one nationality, Indonesia. If you have more than one nationality, you need to provide that country's name right here. Move to the next page, still in part 2, information about you. You're gonna provide place of birth, city of birth, state of province of your birth, country of birth, and the date of birth. This is how you write your birth date by starting with month, day, and year. For some countries, just like in my country in Indonesia, we write the date of birth in a different way. So in here, I just want to make sure that you write it correctly. Alright, moving on here, the information about your last arrival in the USA. Number 21, Form I-94 Arrival Departure Record. Once you enter the USA, you will have your arrival departure record that you can print it out through online. I actually have a video on this channel about how you get your Form I-94 arrival record, and you might click at the link at the top right here. Okay, next, provide your passport number. Actually, your passport number is listed on your Form I-94 arrival record. Besides, it's also listed on your passport, of course. Next, provide your travel document number if you have one. In my case, I don't have a travel number, so I will type an A right here. Next, country that issued your passport or travel document. You're gonna provide the expiration date for passport or travel document, the date of your last arrival into the United States, and place of your last arrival into the United States. Next, number 24. Number 24 is asking about your immigration status at your last arrival. There are many categories of visa such as tourist visa, visit visa, work visa, student visa, and many others. But in my case, I use K1 Fiancee visa. So I write K1 Fiancee visa right here. Next, what is your current immigration status? If your immigration status haven't changed yet, you will provide the same answer as number 24. And right here, I'm gonna write K1 Fiancee visa as my immigration status hasn't changed yet. Next is asking about student and exchange visitor information system if you have one. If you ever become a student in the USA before, you probably have that. In my case, I don't have that, so I will type none for this question. Moving on here, this is about your eligible category. Enter the appropriate letter and number for your eligibility category below. Now let's take a look at the instruction of this form regarding your eligibility category. Okay, you might check on here. In my case, the number will be C9. If your case is different with me, you will have to find it here. Whatever the category, as you see, there's plenty of them. You should find what is your category right here. Moving further, number 28. If your eligibility category C3C, it means a student with a degree in science, technology, engineering, you will provide the information right here. It's actually not applicable to me as I came to the USA with K1 visa. So I will type NA right here. Number 29, this is also not applicable to me. Moving on, number 30. This is also not applicable to me, then I will skip. Number 31, this is also not applicable to me, then I will skip it. Alright, going through all of these, if any of these are applicable to you, you will have to fill them out. Okay, now let's move on to part 3. This is an application statement, contact information, declaration, and signature. You will be the one who signed this form as you apply this form to get your employment authorization document. There is an important note here. You must file form I-765 while in the United States. If you are out of the United States, you're not allowed to fill out this form. For the applicant statement, there are 3 options. Either you yourself did this, or there is an entrepreneur did this for you, or there was a preparer. In my case, I click 1A as I did this myself. It states here, I can read and understand English, and I have read and understand every question and instruction on this application and my answer to every question. Moving on here is about your contact information, that you will provide your daytime telephone number, mobile telephone number, and your email address if you have one. Okay, next there's a question right here. Select this box if you are Salvadoran eligible for benefits under the ABC settlement agreement. It does not apply to me, so I'll skip this. Moving further right here, I suggest you to read all of this and right here as well. Then you will sign this application with your black ink, not electronic signature, okay? Then provide the date of signature right here. Move to part 4. This is about the interpreter's contact information if you use one. In my case, I will type NA as I don't use them. Move to part 5. This is the information about the preparer if you use them. Then you provide their information right here. In my case, I will type NA as I don't use the preparer. Moving on here, part 6. This is additional information that you use if you don't have enough space to answer the questions, such as the question in part 2 about other name used and the other question about your nationality. Here's the cover letter that I attached with this form, and the documents I provided are listed here, so you may take a look. Remember that I filed this form based on my K1 visa. So I submit this form I-765 together with my adjustment of status packet. If you want to watch how I organize my adjustment of status, please click at the link on the top. I also have other videos that I share on how I fill out the form I-485 adjustment of status. So guys, that's all from me today. I hope this video is useful for you. If you like this video, please subscribe to this channel. I wish good luck for your immigration process and we'll see you again in the next one. Goodbye.